Hello everyone, and welcome to my first impressions video of the F4. So I've had a bit of time to play around with this, mostly in single player because, as I think we all know, the servers are rather inundated right now and I don't feel like piling on to an already heavily stacked blue team. But I have had a little bit of multiplayer experience, mostly doing stuff in single player, and got a bit of a feel for the plane. Just wanted to share what my first impressions were, and notably my advice on whether or not you should pick this up. So I really was looking forward to this module. The F4 is one of my favourite aircraft. Definitely my favourite Cold War aircraft, so I was really happy to see it added to the game. And what we've ended up with is a really good, incredibly detailed module. The detail level is absolutely insane with the level of what they've put in there. Now, it does come with some notable downsides. The biggest one that people have been experiencing is the performance issues, most notably surrounding the radar. The radar is actually now a full simulation. It is simulating actual radar pulses going out, getting reflected, coming back. And as you might imagine, that is a hideous thing to do to your poor CPU. And so it does come with notable issues there. There is an option to put it on a simplified mode, which a lot of people have been reporting has improved their performance. In single player, it's fine for me. I did notice a notable frame rate drop in multiplayer whenever the Wizzo had the radar on, and that includes him being in his back seat and me not really interacting with the radar. So that is the biggest downside right now, is they definitely need some more polish. It is just in early access now, so it does definitely need some more going over, especially in terms of performance improvements. But we have got a really good set of really interesting modules that we can use, lots of weapons set up, a huge host of liveries on this. This is the best in-game livery pack that I've ever seen. Really cool what you can put on your aircraft. And loads of really nice just attention to detail things, little things like drawing on the screen, the sound of the brakes as you apply them, tiny little shaking as it goes around, even little things like the ground crew interactions, where when you do things like put out your speed brake and so on, they will just verbally tell you that you have. Just really nice quality of life features, just make everything really pop. It is very wonderfully detailed in all sorts of aspects. That also comes with the downside that it is really a lot to learn. Definitely one of the more complicated aircraft just to jump into. Even some things like dropping the bombs are quite complicated. Definitely things like using the Mavericks involves quite a lot. And there's a lot there if you want to be a Wizzo in understanding how the radar actually functions to use it to its best ability. That said, I've really been enjoying it. I know a lot of people have been a bit frustrated by it not being a great fighter, but it is a really good ground attack platform. And again, nice little touches such as the bombing tables essentially auto-computing for you with a little function where you open up a kneeboard and essentially put in your parameters and Wizzo does the rest. Really nice. And certainly it is a great aircraft to just fly around. I've really been enjoying it, not even doing any particular mission, just loading it up in a single player map, sticking the plane down somewhere and just say flying along a valley is really cool. You can push this thing to extreme speeds, climbs excellently, really fun. As for where it's going to fit in the multiplayer scene, we've already seen it very much dominating in the Cold War with Enigma's Cold War. I think it is still finding its place there. First players didn't really know how to use it. Then we kind of had a kickback when players learnt about the front radar auto lock feature, which has then swung things back the other way. It's probably going to take a bit for it to balance down, but I think it is going to fit in very nicely with our current Cold War scene. So then, just finally, should you pick this module up right now, or should you wait for a sale? Either, I think, are good choices right now. This is a very solid early access attempt here. This is definitely good quality product. As far as I've been able to tell, there's nothing that immediately screams horrible early access. Some things do need to be worked on, but nothing really mission critical. So I think it's absolutely fine to go in and buy it now. That said, if you really don't like the feel of early access, then I think this would be fine to wait a little bit longer for. By the time this comes out of early access and goes on a sale, we'll get more features, a lot more sort of quality of life things, and hopefully a bit better on the performance. Final thing I would say is if you are running this on a PC that has issues running DCS in general, you might want to hold off on the F4 for now until those performance issues are sorted. My PC's a bit of a beast and manages DCS fine, but it does struggle with the F4, and so it is definitely an issue. Can't just sweep all of these complaints up as being a user error, computer is not good enough. There is definitely some performance fine-tuning that needs to be done before this is really ready to come out of early access. Either way, I am absolutely looking forward to playing more of this module, and it will certainly be featured quite a lot on this channel going forward. As I said, I'm a big fan of this airframe in real life, really happy to see it in DCS World. If you have any questions, please do leave them down below, or otherwise I hope to catch you in a future video. Until then, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers.